One of the largest banks in the U.S. just announced they're stopping their personal loan service. They're closing them out. What does this mean for you? What are your alternatives? I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Cohorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, let's be honest. Wells Fargo's reputation over the past, 5 years or so has been just atrocious. It seems, if you just look at the headlines, they've got, they've had a few accusations and then just sort of, I believe more than accusations, proof that they were falsifying customer deposit accounts to try to receive some bonuses. And then there were some other, business practices that were exposed. They then sold off some of their branches. They then went through the recession with the coronavirus and stopped taking lines of credit, stopped taking some applications. Several other banks did that too, but it was just sort of added on to the drama with Wells Fargo. And then recently, I think late last year, they announced, or they sort of forewarned, listen, we're probably going to be getting out of offering personal loans. And just recently, a couple weeks ago, they came out and said, yep, that's it. It's official. We're getting out of offering personal loans. We're done. They are going to be suspended, and your account is going to be closed if you have one. This is causing many people, even despite the warnings, causing many Wells Fargo customers to be extremely frustrated. So if you have a personal loan, if you've thought of having a personal loan, and worst of all, if you're a Wells Fargo customer that has a personal loan, what should you do? So if you're a Wells Fargo customer with a personal loan, check out the link below in the description, and I'm assuming you're going to be getting, they say you're going to be getting several notices in the mail about what to do and what the impact is going to be. Basically, your account, once they're closed, once it's suspended, you won't be able to draw off of that personal line anymore. So the balance is going to be frozen, and then the interest rate, whatever the interest rate is at that time, apparently they were fluctuating or they varied, and whatever the interest rate is at that time is going to be locked in, and then you're going to have to make payments on that amount at that interest rate for the balance of the loan. I haven't seen in here how long they're going to term these out for, or if they're all due, 100% of the balance is due by a certain date. I haven't seen that in there, so hopefully in your situation, because these loans are somewhere between $3,000 and $100,000, hopefully they don't just say, well, you got to owe us all the money in 6 months or something like that, pay it all back. Hopefully they term it out over a few years, couple of years, or a few months. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. So they also said this could impact your credit score. And yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces with your credit score. And one of them is available credit. And so how much credit are you using compared to your available credit? Well, let's say you had a personal line available up to $100,000 and you're only using $3,000. Well, you had a lot of available credit and your balance was pretty low. Well, as soon as it's locked and it's terminated, you don't have $100,000 of available credit, or in this example, $97,000 of available credit. You've got $3,000. And how much are you using? $3,000 of it, right? So that can impact your credit score as well. So you got to watch that. You got to be wary of that. And then finally, apparently Wells Fargo, these personal loans were used a lot for overdraft protection. And so if you are a Wells Fargo customer and you've got the way you manage your finances is such that, well, there's a chance, things might get overdrafted from time to time. This solution to that is now going away. So you're going to want to make sure that you're prepared for that. In my opinion, needing a personal loan, and I'm not sure how Wells Fargo has positioned this in the past, or maybe how it was sold or communicated or framed to you in the past. But to me, getting a personal loan is not being prepared. Oftentimes you get a personal loan because you've looked at the traditional ways to borrow money, and none of them have really looked appealing. So you basically have gone to the bank or credit union in sort of a not a desperate situation, but just with the hope of, hey, you know me, I've got my banking accounts here. Can I just get a personal loan? And hopefully you get that at a better interest rate. Now, by better interest rate, am I talking, a low interest rate? No, I'm not. This is an uncollateralized loan, which is geek speak for there's nothing backing this loan other than your promise to pay it back. So the interest rate might be slightly lower than a credit card at times, but it's not going to be like a mortgage rate. It's not going to be like a home equity line of credit. And so if you had the ability to get lower interest other places, you would do so. A personal line of credit is in some ways riskier even than a credit card, but it's similar to that. So to me, it's all about getting prepared. So what should you do if you've had a personal line of credit, if you thought about it, if you're a Wells Fargo customer and you've had one or considered it? I would look for those alternatives. So what are they? I make sure you've got a credit card. Make sure your credit card has high balances on it. And if you don't have enough credit out there, and this is some credit that's being pulled away from you, possibly consider opening up a new credit card so you've got more access to cash than like you had before this change happens. Second, if you've got a decent amount of equity in your house, make sure you've got a home equity line of credit. Make sure you have the ability, not that you're going to use it, but that you have the ability to get the credit if you need to. When one sort of twisted way the financial world works is, listen, if you don't need the money, banks and creditors are willing to give it to you. Oh, sure, you don't need it. You've got good income. You've got a bunch of cash. You don't need credit? Here, we'll give you some. But once you need it, your income goes away or you're in a financial strain, very hard to get it. Very hard to get it. So basically, you want to get the lines of credit available, open, and accessible when you're in good times so that you have them at your disposal if you fall into bad times. So that's why you get the home equity line of credit set up. And then, finally, I'd make sure that you've got a fully funded emergency fund. You've got your own cash, your own ability to draw off of some resources so that you're not having to borrow money and pay someone else interest when you're in a pinch, when you need cash. The big idea, though, once again, is to be proactive, plan ahead. And this is part of having a solid present financial position, which is the first area of your financial life. It's one of the 6 areas of your financial life, and having a solid foundation that you can then build on. And what I mean by build on, save up for retirement, save up for that next house, pay down that mortgage, invest and save up for a 529 plan or for college education, those sorts of things. All of those goals that you're going to be building on and saving to achieve, they've got to be built on a solid foundation. And that solid foundation is having the right bank account structure, having the right budget and income plan in place. And part of that is having the right loan structure in place, right? And having the right access to cash if something bad happens. So work with your certified financial planner. Like I said, your present financial position often is overlooked. You think of a financial advisor, you're thinking investment strategies, being able to retire someday. No, you've got to have that solid foundation in place. So work with your certified financial planner on that. And if you are a Wells Fargo customer or have previously had a personal line of credit and you say, gosh, yeah, maybe I need to get out of that, make sure you talk to your CFP about which credit cards to get, how much to have an emergency fund, whether you should get a home equity line of credit, what that process should be like. So if you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, corehorn.com. That's Corehorn with a K. wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well. Send us an email, info@corehorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.